Welcome back. In this video, I will explain the two important DAX engines, which is the formula engine and the storage engine. DAX work is shared among these two engines while processing the DAX query. Once we create a DAX query in Power BI, the query will be processed, data is retrieved as a data cache, and the data cache will be evaluated, and the final result is sent back in one of the three forms, which is calculated table, calculated column, or a measure. So let's understand these engines briefly. So what is a formula engine? The formula engine is responsible for interpreting DAX formulas, evaluating calculations at row level, and creating intermediate results. It handles calculations for calculated columns, calculated tables, and measures. So these are the three forms of output result that we get from the DAX engine. The formula engine operates at granular level, iterating through rows of tables to perform these calculations. So the formula engine is the main engine which is responsible for calculation. Next, the storage engine. The storage engine is responsible for optimizing data retrieval and aggregation. It pre-computes and stores the aggregated data in a compressed and optimized format to improve the query performance. So usually we read the data through Power Query in Power BI. So when we extract the data, so the Power Query is the ETL part of Power BI. So when we read the data, extract the data, it will store the data, it will retrieve and store the data in aggregated format so that the data is stored in compressed and optimized format to improve the query performance. So the storage engine works closely with columnary databases such as Vertipack, which is used in Power BI to efficiently retrieve data for DAX calculations. So the responsibility of storage engine is to compress the data, optimize the data, and store the data in aggregated format so that it can be retrieved easily. So what does the formula engine do? So let's see how these engines work together. So it processes the DAX query, then generates the query plan for storage engine. So first it will read the DAX query, and it will process it, and it generates a query plan for the storage engine. The storage engine receives the query plan from formula engine, executes it, and returns as data cache. So once the query plan is generated by formula engine, it will be sent to the storage engine. The storage engine will use the query plan to retrieve the data, and it will return in the form of data cache. So the data cache will be sent back from storage engine to the formula engine. Then it will evaluate the data cache and it returns a result. Let's look at this in this format. So here is the DAX query that we have. So this query is sent to the formula engine, and the formula engine, it will process and it will generate a query plan. This query plan will be shared with storage engine, and the storage engine will retrieve the data and create a data cache, and this data cache is sent back to the formula engine. So once the formula engine receives the data cache, it will evaluate and it will send the final result. So before sending to the user onto the screen, it will also do the evaluation. So this is how these two engines work together. So the final result will be sent back in either one of the three formats. One is the calculated table, means data is sent back as a form of table which contains rows and columns. Another is calculated column. Calculated column is calculated at each row of the table, and a measure. Measure is calculated at report level. We will see all these three different formats in the upcoming videos. As of now, just understand what is the responsibility of formula engine and storage engine. That's all for this video. Thank you. See you in the next video.